Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the Fightins. The NLCS kicks off tonight. Game 1, Phillies versus Padres. Best of 7 series for the right to go to the World Series. Cahta, how are you feeling?
I'm stoked.
I remember.
We talk about the Fightins.
We're talking about Seth. When we did the preseason show
guy.
with Dylan and Parcero in March, April, I remember we talked about none of us expected to be here. We just wanted to make the playoffs, show that this team can make the playoffs. But here we are. The NLCS.
We had a much different conversation after they got Castellanos, though.
No. We did that when they got Castellanos. It was
no. We said there. No, I remember we FaceTime for about an hour and a half saying how the Phillies are going to win the World Series after that.
All right. Well, listen, there were some exigent circumstances that caused us to say stuff like that. But now it's a reality. The Phillies can win the World Series.
Oh, absolutely.
They're right there. Listen, if they would have lost to the Cardinals, if they would have lost to the Braves, I'd been like, you know what? All right, well, it's good season. We got where we wanted to be. We hit where our expectations were. But we have beat expectations. We are playing with house money. But at this point, it has to be World Series or bust. You don't make it to the NLCS and it not be World Series or bust. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're playing a team like the Padres, who is in my opinion, for the Phillies, is a very beatable team. Yeah, I think so. If they're playing the Dodgers, it's a different story. It really is. But the Padres are a great team. Don't get me wrong, but they're beatable. They're 100% beatable. Absolutely. And we were 1-2 in the, or what was it, 2-3 in the wild card the whole year. Like, it's very, very possible for the Phillies to beat the Padres. And with our pitching staff, I think we should be able to beat them. And I think we can beat them.
Absolutely. Listen, and here's what I'm saying is, in a way, it kind of feels like destiny. In a weird way. Think about it. We get the Cardinals. They're the ones that ended the Phillies run back in 2011, ended the era of Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Shane Victorino, Cole Hamels, Roy Hott, all those guys. Kind of that team became irrelevant after that year. Then we get the Braves, the team that's been big brothering us for the past 11 years. The team that has basically owned us, the defending champions, and we beat them. And now we get, in a way, lucky that we dodged the best team in baseball this year, the 111-win Dodgers, and we take on the Padres, what was our record against them during the regular season? I completely forget.
The Padres?
Yeah.
I think it was 4-3. I think we had them in the regular season, but it was either they had us by a game or we had them by a game.
I know we had them.
Close.
I know we had the tiebreaker of them. I just didn't know what it was.
It was real close.
The Phillies and Padres have been neck and neck all year. And I'm going to be honest, like, they have both fluctuated from being in the playoffs, out of the playoffs, in the playoffs, out of the playoffs. But they both made it. They both won their wild card round against teams that nobody thought they would beat. Go in there and beat division rivals that have basically been big brothering them for years on years on years now. And now they're playing in a 7-game series to see who will represent the National League in the World Series. My question to you, Cahta, is, looking at the series, what is the biggest key for the Phillies to win the NLCS?
Pitching. I mean, that's truly what it is every single time in the playoffs. And it's not as much for me, Nola and Wheeler, because I'm pretty sure they're going to pitch fine. My worry is game 3 and 4. What are you going to, like, you're throwing Suarez game 3, I guess?
You have to. He's
Cahta, Syndergaard game 4. That is my biggest worry for the Phillies is they're not that deep with starting pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it going to look like in game 3 and 4? Game 5 and 6, you're probably going to have Wheeler Nola right again. And I think those are both probably wins.
I think they would throw Suarez game 6.
Yeah. And
depending.
Well, no, because you throw. It depends. Who are you pitching? Are you pitching Wheeler again game 4?
No. Here's what I think. Honestly, it depends. So game 1 through 4 is kind of, we all know it's going to be Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, Syndergaard. Game 5 will probably be Wheeler again, especially if it's tied 2-2 or they're up 3. Actually, no matter what, it's going to be Wheeler game 5. My thing is if they're
up, you go Wheeler Nola back to back then again.
But my thing is, if they're up 3-2, do you put Nola in for the kill shot?
Yeah, absolutely. You get it over as quick as possible. You don't go for a game 7 if you don't have to.
Okay, fair enough. So, but here's the thing. I trust Suarez to limit the damage, to keep us in the game. Suarez is a game manager type of pitcher. He keeps you in games. Every once in a while, you'll get a spectacular performance on the mound. Every once in a while, you'll get a bad performance on the mound. But for the most part, he's going to give you 4 or 5 innings of solid pitching, only letting up a run. I know it was only 3 innings, but like we saw in game 1 against the Braves, he gave us 3 innings, got himself into a lot of jams, but he got out of them.
Yeah.
So it's your bullpen. For me, it's pitching, but it's the bullpen. Because we know that
and it's more. It's not as much the 7, 8, 9 guys, because I think we know we know Seranthony, Alvarado, and Eflin have been pretty locked down.
Yeah,
it's the
bad hands, the Connor Brogdon.
It's if Ranger Suarez does only go 4 innings, what are you going to do in 5th and 6th inning?
Yeah,
those are the type of things that the Phillies need to figure out. And I mean, the offense still needs to stay hot as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyle Schwarber needs to step it up a little bit in the series. He just does.
Absolutely.
But besides that, if they put up 37 runs in 4 games, they're going to win. It's you're going to outscore. You're going to outscore guys. That's just that simple.
I completely agree with you. I mean, defense is defense. We saw some mistakes, especially from Rhys Hoskins in that series. We saw some spectacular plays from Castellanos. Bohm made a couple of nice plays. Bohm also had 1 or 2 bad throws over. The defense.
One of those was really fucked up by Hoskins, though. He's got to be able to dig the ball out a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're saying. But here's the thing. I was on a TikTok live stream with Peter from Just Baseball earlier, and we were talking about that actually, about how we were talking about Bryson Stott now, and not as much Alec, mainly Bryson Stott and his arm. How his arm is probably his weakest factor of him as a player. We know he's quick and shifty. We know he can hit. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of the arm issues we saw from Bowman Stott throughout the season in the playoffs are amplified by Rhys Hoskins' inability to pick a fucking baseball.
Yeah,
he can't.
I agree with you. And that's going to be the biggest thing. Yeah, Rhys Hoskins has been pretty good with the bat all year. He's been pretty good his whole career with the Phillies with the bat. But the inconsistency with his defense, like, you can't just say, "Oh, you're gonna be a DH," because they already have 3 DHs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they going to do with Hoskins this offseason?
They have 2 DHs. Bryce Harper's not a DH. Bryce Harper is the only reason Bryce Harper played.
Bryce Harper's going to have to be a DH next year, though.
Why?
He's going to need that He's going to need that UCL surgery. If he gets Tommy John, he's either not playing next year or not going to be able to hit pretty much or not be able to throw again the whole next year.
You're right. I didn't even think of it being Tommy John. I thought he was going to get surgery in the offseason and be ready to play defense again.
Yeah, no. Tommy John's a year recovery.
But we're getting a little off topic. Let's get back to this game. Game 1. We'll start with game 1. Tonight. What are you looking at tonight? What is your predictions? What is your outlook?
Well, I mean, I expect Wheeler to go 6 or 7 innings again. 1, maybe 2 runs given up. And I actually feel like the Phillies are going to pounce early in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're able to pounce, because Darvish is a good pitcher, but Darvish can definitely be very inconsistent at times. Darvish is either the best pitcher on the planet or one of the worst. There's no in between with him. And if the Phillies can pounce early on you, Darvish, it's going to be a long night for the Padres, and I'm hoping the Phillies can get in that bullpen real early and fuck them up.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it's gonna be all Phillies tonight. I think the bats are gonna come out hot. They need to, because game 1 is so important. We all know the stats: 78% of games end up winning the series. But game 1's just important because it sets the tone. You know, both these teams are coming off electrifying series win, and I guarantee you, there is somewhere out there near San Diego, there are 2 knuckleheads like me and you sitting there talking about all this stuff for the Padres. So it's not.
Did you see their hype video?
Yes, one of my buddies at school sent me the video and said something about, if they're dropping bars like that, they're gonna win. San Diego.
What bars?
You can't rap. Your football team didn't even want to be there. So miss me with that. Sorry, San Diego. Your slander's coming all the next week and a half. I don't like San Diego right now, but I'm
quote from the anchorman. Fuck you, San Diego.
Yep. I'm gonna post that later. I'm so using that later.
Yep.
So the Phillies, I think the bats need to be hot. They're gonna have to score 5 runs tonight to win this game. They're gonna have to, and I do think they will. I don't think we're gonna see them put up 9 runs consistently like they did against the Braves.
But they can.
They can. That's the thing.
This lineup just can. That's the thing with this lineup. When they're hot and they're going, and that's the thing they really got away from. Like, don't want to say halfway through the year, but like towards the end of the year, they stopped scoring as many runs. And I mean, that's a combination of Harper being hurt and Castellanos not being hot. But when they're at their best, they're going to outscore teams, and that's more of the Phillies baseball that we see. I think the bullpen was almost an outlier in the last couple series. I mean, they have a good bullpen, but not as good as they were playing.
We're not talking football today, bro. It's all Phillies baseball today.
Fuck the Phillies. Fuck the Eagles right now. Fuck the Sixers right now. Fuck the Flyers right now. This is all Phillies baseball right now.
Listen, here's how I say it. As a Philly sports fan, and I will say this. The Phillies are not my number one favorite team out of all of them. The Eagles are. Then it's probably them and the Sixers are right there. Probably lean the Sixers a little bit. But I love the Phillies and what the Phillies are in right now, where they are. The Phillies are everybody in Philadelphia's primary focus. And you know what the crazy part is? Our Eagles are 6-0. And our number one focus is about them fighting. But to the lineup. I gotta finish what I meant to say about the lineup. This lineup can get hot, and they're hot right now. Everybody but Kyle Schwarber's hitting the ball. Everybody. Vierling's making some hits. Marsh is getting some hits. Vierling's not really in the lineup as much right now, which I get.
Bullshit, by the way. It's bullshit. He's better than Kyle Schwarber.
I think we're gonna see.
He's just flat out better than Kyle Schwarber.
Hey, listen. He's got
the same amount of hits as Kyle Schwarber, and he's got like 3 at bats. Kyle Schwarber's got like 20.
Listen to me. I am okay with because we're gonna see this for the next 5 years or so. A constant rotation of who's playing center field between Marsh and Vierling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Marsh continues to play like he is, he's going to steal that real easily.
Oh, absolutely. And rightfully so. But
Vierling's got more power than Vierling.
They're going to use him as an absolute utility weapon in that outfield.
Yeah. Well, and that's just the thing. He's just solid, and he can play the infield too. Like, Vierling's just a solid utility guy. Almost kind of like Greg Dobbs was.
You know what's funny? You know what's insane? Remember when we started the season and it was Adubo Herrera and Roman Quinn?
No. Remember who is it? I remember. Shout out Phil Stifle. Made a bet on Mickey Moniak to win Rookie of the Year, and was talking about how Mickey Moniak was going to hit like 30 home runs, like dominate this year. I kept saying this is Vierling. Now Vierling didn't play as much as I thought he would, but he's still coming along very well.
But overall, tonight, I think the Phillies come out, they jump on them early. The Padres score some runs towards the middle of the game, early towards the back third of the game, and they get a run or two off of Wheeler. The bullpen comes in, Alvarado, Sir Anthony, Eflin, shut him down 7, 8, 9. Who knows what order, because he does a different order all the time now.
I don't care the order, as long as it works.
As long as they're still shutting them down. Phillies win tonight. I'm going to say 5-2 over the Padres.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little closer than that. I'm going to say 6-5. I think both teams score a decent amount of runs tonight, but I think the Phillies. The
biggest thing for tonight is not getting jumped on early. But
yeah,
let's look at the rest of the series.
If they give up a bunch of runs early to them and let the fans get into it, I'm not sure what kind of fan base San Diego has when they're good, because I've never actually seen San Diego good at baseball. So,
actually, we have never really seen San Diego have any teams good at anything, because the team became good. Because what? You don't win in San Diego. You don't win in San Diego.
Maybe this is a year for them, though.
Maybe no. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's a year for the Fightins. We're talking about the Fightins, baby. How was your voice this weekend?
I'm still hungover.
I got to show you a video.
Do I want to see this?
Oh yeah, I have no clue who this guy is, and this is at Citizens Bank Park after the Phillies won the series. I was there for the series clincher. I don't know who this guy is, and if he's watching, shout out you, bro. You're cool as hell. But here it is. I don't know who that is. Shout out him. He was cool. The atmosphere was insane.
Oh, yeah.
I know you were there on Friday, and I was there on Saturday. That was the most insane atmosphere I've ever been a part of. It was every single seat was packed. Aspirin Alley was full. The rooftop bleachers were full. You couldn't move around. Everyone's running around, hugging strangers, screaming, "It's all about the fights. We're talking about the fights. One more, one more, one more, one more." Like I hugged so many people. I had no clue who they were. We were all so happy. And I know.
Yeah, it was just like a giant frat party. It's a spank party.
Yes. And I think this weekend's gonna be even more insane.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this weekend's gonna be even more insane.
I'm going game 1. You're going game 1 too, right? Or
I'm going Saturday. I'm going game
Saturday. Okay.
I'm going game 4. You're going game
So
4.
I'm going Friday. You're going Saturday.
Yeah.
Seems like Ella might be going Sunday. So we got the full Cahta media takeover in Philadelphia.
We got the full takeover for this weekend. Someone will be at every game. We represent. We're out there.
And you know what? I hope it don't even get to Sunday.
No, I don't either. I want to see them clinch the series again. I don't want Ella. I don't want you going to the Phillies game.
Yeah, fuck you, Ella.
I don't want Ella at the Phillies game because the Phillies are gonna sweep. No, they're not gonna sweep. I really don't see them sweeping.
No,
I
honestly think it's going 6 or 7, and probably 7.
Fair enough. So let's go back. Let's talk. Speaking of let's look at the series as a whole. We talked a little bit about what our key factors are for the series. Where do you think? Let's go game by game. We're not going to do scores. Just give me a winner. Game 1.
Phillies.
All right. I'm going Phillies as well. Game 2.
Phillies.
I'm going Padres.
Okay.
Game 3.
Padres.
Phillies. Game 4.
I don't see Ranger Suarez beating Musgrove.
I do. I think it's just the atmosphere. I think the bats get hotter in Philly with the way the park's set up. I just think we're going to outscore them. Game 4.
Padres.
Phillies. I got Phillies up 3-1. You have them what? 2-2?
2-2.
Game 5.
5. Wheeler on the mound win. Phillies.
I said Phillies in 5.
I'm saying Phillies in 6 probably.
Okay. So
I think they win the games that Nola and Wheeler pitch.
Okay. That's fair enough. I think that they. You know what? I'm staying with Phillies in 5. They're gonna win game 2, but lose game 3.
Okay.
I think it's gonna go. Phillies go up 2-0. Padres bounce back, make it 2-1. Phillies, game 4 win, game 5 win. Phillies in 5. I think that Citizens Bank Park, if the Phillies take the first 2 games of this series, or even 1, but if the Phillies take the first 2 games of the series, it's not going back to San Diego.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't go back to San Diego.
No. It's better for us just – the atmosphere is going to be insane this weekend. We saw it this past weekend. The way the stadium jumped, I'm telling you, it is like nothing I ever experienced before.
Oh, I mean, you had a couple big hits. But I don't know if you saw anything as big as that Rhys Hoskins homer. That place just absolutely fucking like. But I feel like it might have been a little bit different with Rhys because you knew off the bat that thing was fucking.
Oh yeah. He
absolutely crushed the ball, and the bat spike that place just went wild.
Yeah.
And then Harper 2 pitches later, bang, goodbye.
It's gonna be another insane weekend. I can't wait. I am so excited for this Phillies, what we're in, like the position we're in. And if they win this series, I'm going broke to get as many World Series tickets as I can.
No, I'm already looking for the pre-sale. Once the pre-sale comes, I'll let you know.
I'm copping at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to a World Series game if it's in Philly. Don't care.
Oh, absolutely. I
will say, hey, if you guys, by the way, if you guys want to, blow this up so we can start getting paid for this. So
and if y'all want to donate to me so I can keep betting against the Phillies so the Phillies keep winning, I'd highly appreciate it. I've already blown probably like $300 on this Phillies playoff run.
And you can't working against them because if you do and they lose, then you're going to know it's your fault.
Yeah, I can't stop. So I got to keep just like every other day
We're
putting
polar
more than
opposites.
24
I
hours in
always
the
bet
account.
on the Phillies. I bet on the Phillies every game.
So he's probably rich as fuck right now. I'm over here losing
I'm on a hot
everything.
that blackjack sucked most of it out of me.
Well,
And,
see, here's the thing. He's a very good sports bettor, but then this idiot decides to go bet on other things, and it just doesn't
I'm
go
really
well
good.
after that.
I'm really good at sports betting. I'm gonna start making. I gotta make more sports betting content too because I know people like it, and I just sometimes it takes some time, dude. And then there's days I don't.
You gotta do a pod with Chris doing it. Because
Absolutely.
like I sports bet, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing half the time.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I want to do a sports betting podcast, but I want to do it with 3 people, so I got to find a third person. Hey, anyone who's good?
Hey, I saw Jizzle was trying to get into sports betting.
I was talking to Jizzle about it too. I was talking to him a little bit when I was talking about how my what week was it? There was the one week my parlay got blown up. By the way, Bucks, you screwed me again this weekend. Absolutely robbed me. I swear to God, every one of my 3-leg hockey parlays always finds a way to lose on the last leg.
I'll still never forgive Miles Sanders 2 weeks ago.
What do you do?
I had a 12-leg parlay. I hit every single leg except for Miles Sanders over 7 receiving yards.
What do you have? 6?
6. Fuck you, Miles Sanders. Piece of shit.
You always disliked him, man.
I hate Miles Sanders. I don't care.
We're getting a little off topic. This was a Phillies talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was supposed to be a quick little preview. Let's go Fightins, baby. Let's go.
I'll be live right at 8 o'clock, boys.
1 or 2. Cahta will be live. I'll probably go live at TikTok at some point during the game. I might join him. We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we're talking about the Fightins.
Talk about the Fightins.
Cahta hot.